we discuss a very remarkable experiment of molecular biology, Michelson-Stall experiment, as an evidence for semi-conservative replication. Theoretically, there may be three possible modes of DNA replication. These are conservative, semi-conservative, and dispersive replication. In conservative replication, two strands of the DNA separate from one another and each strand synthesize new complementary strand. These new complementary strands associate to form a DNA molecule and the parent strand recombine to form a DNA molecule. As a result, two daughter DNA molecules are formed. In one molecule, whole of the parent DNA remain conserved, whereas another molecule is totally newly synthesized, so-called conservative replication. In semi-conservative replication, each daughter molecule possesses one parental strand and another newly synthesized strand. Means half of the parent DNA remain conserved in each of the daughter molecules, so-called semi-conservative replication. In dispersive scheme, the DNA molecule break into several pieces and each fragment replicate. The old and the new segment recombine to form two DNA daughter molecule. Each daughter molecule possesses the parent and the newly synthesized complementary strand along the length. Semi-conservative replication of DNA was postulated by Watson and Crick along with double helix model of DNA. Delbruck proposed breakage and reunion model for the solution of topological problem of DNA and suggested dispersive mode of DNA replication. This model was so important that it stimulated to design the experiment to test among these three methods that which method is applicable for the replication of DNA. The first evidence for semi-conservative replication of the DNA at molecular level was presented by Matthew Michelson and Franklin Stahl in 1958 while working on a bacteria Escherichia coli or E. coli with a non-radioactive heavy isotope of nitrogen, that is N15. In their experiment, these scientists grew E. coli bacteria in the culture media containing N15 in the form of ammonium chloride as a source of nitrogen for about 14 generations, so as to incorporate the N15 in the DNA of the daughter cells. They used density gradient ultracentrifugation for the analysis of the replicate of DNA. The DNA possessing N15 has higher detectable bond density, that is 1.724 gram per cubic centimeter, then the DNA containing N14 or normal nitrogen having the bond density 1.710 gram per cubic centimeter, and called the DNA with N15 as heavy and N14 as light DNA. To separate the heavy DNA and the light DNA, they used density gradient ultracentrifugation in a heavy salt solution of cesium chloride, which has the density 1.7 gram per cubic centimeter. At 30,000 to 50,000 RPM revolution per minute in the centrifuge tube, this solution form a linear gradient of increasing density from top to the bottom. In such solution, DNA move at the position where its density equal to the density of cesium chloride. Cesium chloride is very sensitive that it can separate the molecule having a very slight difference in their density. So, this solution can easily separate the heavy DNA and the light DNA in a solution. Messerson and Stoll transfer the E. coli cells growing on the medium containing N15 to the medium having the normal nitrogen, that is N14, and allowed to divide once, which take about 20 minutes. The DNA from these first generation cells were extracted and subjected to ultracentrifugation. They found the presence of a single band of intermediate density, then the light DNA and the heavy DNA. This result immediately enabled to discount the conservative mode of DNA replication. If such mode of DNA replication would be inoperative, two bands would be appeared, one having the light DNA and another having the heavy DNA. But this observation didn't make distinction between the semi-conservative and the dispersive mode of DNA replication. To make the distinction between these two modes of replication, Messerson and Stoll allowed the cells to divide twice, means completed two replication cycle which take about 40 minutes. The DNA from the cells of the secondary generation extracted and examined in the centrifuge and found the presence of two bands, one having the light density and another having the intermediate density. It means the 50% of the DNA possess the N14 and 50% of the DNA possess the equal amount of N14 and N15. Means 50% of the DNA, both the strand composed of N14, whereas in another 50%, one strand possesses the N15 and another strand possesses the N14. This result agree with the presence of semi-conservative mode of DNA replication. This observation completely rejects the dispersive mode of DNA replication. If such mode of DNA replication would be in operation, a single band of intermediate density would be appeared. So, on the basis of this result, it was concluded that DNA follow semi-conservative method of DNA replication. When the DNA of the first generation from this centrifuge tube was heated for denaturation and immediately cooled so that the two strands of the DNA remain separate, and such DNA when recentrifuged, Messelson and Stahl found that the appearance of the two bands, one having the light DNA and another having the heavy DNA. This result confirmed the presence of semi-conservative replication of DNA. The Messelson and Stahl experiment has been described as a most beautiful experiment in the biology, a fitting tribute to its simplicity and elegance. Thank you.